If you think Earth is the only habitable planet, think again. Today, we're diving into 5 absolutely crazy, potentially habitable worlds. From endless alien oceans to glowing jungles teeming with bizarre creatures, and even planets with skies that never change. These places will blow your mind. Buckle up for a journey across the galaxy and get ready to be amazed. First planet is Gliese 581g, the wild jungle planet that shouldn't exist. Orbiting a red dwarf star just 20 light-years away, this rocky world is right in the habitable zone, where temperatures could support liquid water and life. But here's the kicker. If this planet has an atmosphere, it could be a lush, alien jungle world, teeming with life we can't even imagine. Gliese 581g may be tidally locked, meaning that one side always faces its star, while the other remains in perpetual night. But in the twilight zone between these extremes lies the perfect balance, a strip of eternal twilight where alien rainforests could thrive, fed by perpetual warmth and moisture. Now imagine that jungle, towering electric blue trees with glowing vines, massive canopies of leaves stretching for miles, predatory plants that use chemical lures to trap prey, insects the size of eagles with wings that hum like engines, creatures with translucent skin that use color-shifting camouflage to disappear right before your eyes. And what if something intelligent lives here? No cities, no metal, no machines, but maybe living structures, the minds of symbiotic life forms that grow, adapt, and evolve together. A civilization grown out of biology, not industry, one that communicates through scent or music carried on the wind. If you think that planet was crazy, meet Kepler 22b, the planet where there's no land. Imagine a planet where land is a myth. No mountains, no continents, just endless rolling oceans that stretch across the entire globe. Welcome to Kepler 22b, an alien water world some 600 light-years away, and one of the most intriguing candidates for life beyond Earth. About 2.4 times the size of Earth, Kepler 22b is big, wet, and totally wild. Scientists believe it's completely covered in water, an endless alien sea with no solid ground in sight. If life exists here, it wouldn't walk. It would swim, float, or drift. But what kind of creatures could survive in such a place? Imagine massive jellyfish-like organisms glowing in the deep, feeding on chemical-rich thermal vents on the ocean floor. Perhaps there are intelligent squid-like creatures that navigate the currents with sonar and communicate with flashes of bioluminescent light. Cities made of coral? Civilizations in floating bubbles? Who knows? And the ocean isn't peaceful. Kepler 22b probably experiences massive, mile-high waves, perpetual hurricanes, and tides driven by unknown forces. Beneath the surface, layers of varying pressure, temperature, and chemical content could create multiple zones of life, some shallow and luminous, others black, boiling, and deadly. Let's travel to another planet, but with land. In our neighboring galaxy with a TRAPPIST-1 system, there is a planet where the sun never moves. This is TRAPPIST-1e, a cosmic paradox and a world between fire and ice. Orbiting a faint red dwarf star just 40 light-years away, TRAPPIST-1e is one of the most promising Earth-sized planets ever found. But there's a catch. It's probably tidally locked. One side of the planet always faces the star, trapped in eternal daylight. The other side, frozen darkness, forever. But life may not live in either extreme. It can thrive in the twilight zone, a narrow ring of perpetual sunset where the heat of day meets the chill of night. Imagine a land under a sky of eternal orange and crimson, where the shadows never move and the star never rises or sets. The whole planet is split in two, and the border in between is alive. Here the wind roars constantly, turning the air from day to night in a never-ending loop. Glowing forests could grow in the dim light, feeding on infrared radiation from the red dwarf. Rivers might flow sideways, shaped by uneven heating. Creatures here would be built for balance, adapted to constant temperature gradients, hunting in semi-shade, moving silently between extremes. What kind of life would evolve here? Imagine photosynthetic reptile plants, burrowing creatures that hibernate on the dark side, or sky floaters that drift on atmospheric currents, feeding on light and chemical traces. This twilight world could be tranquil, deadly, or both. A razor-thin strip of survival stretching around an alien globe. The next planet will absolutely blow your mind. This is K218b, a planet that shouldn't exist the way it does, but it totally does. Located about 120 light-years away, this super-Earth sits in the habitable zone of a red dwarf star, but it's no Earth clone. K218b is something else entirely, a hybrid planet part rocky core, part gaseous mini-Neptune, wrapped in thick clouds and dripping with potential. In 2019, astronomers detected water vapor in its atmosphere, a first for a potentially habitable exoplanet. But this isn't Earth's gentle rain. On K218b, imagine alien storm systems the size of continents rumbling through dense hydrogen skies. Rain falls in chemical cocktails. Clouds swirl for centuries. And beneath the clouds? We don't know. It could be an ocean, a rocky surface, or a dense layer of exotic liquids. But it's what could be living in the clouds that really sparks the imagination. Think of floating life forms, like giant jellyfish-shaped organisms drifting on the winds, feeding on starlight, methane, and moisture. Microscopic creatures swimming through the oceans of the air, forming colonies that glow in the ultraviolet. Perhaps even intelligent cloud dwellers adapted to a world without ground, where you live, think, and evolve as you drift. K218b challenges what we thought life needed: solid land, mild weather, breathable air. Here, life could thrive in vapor, in storms, in floating biomes carried by gravity and gas. And the last planet, the closest potentially habitable world to us, is Proxima Centauri b, just 4.2 light-years away. Orbiting the red dwarf Proxima Centauri lies a world that could be our first real neighbor in the search for life. It's Earth-sized, rocky, and in the habitable zone. Sounds perfect, right? Not even close. Proxima b lives on the edge of survival. Its star is a flare machine, blasting the planet with intense bursts of radiation that would fry electronics and possibly life on Earth. But despite the chaos, Proxima b may still be habitable, and that's what makes it so fascinating. If the planet has a strong magnetic field, it could be shielding a thin but protective atmosphere. And if it's tidally locked, with one side always facing its star and the other in darkness, life could thrive in the Twilight ring, just like on TRAPPIST-1e, but with far more danger. Now imagine it: rugged, arid terrain, bathed in red light, skies lit by auroras from radiation storms, creatures living underground or under oceans to avoid the deadly flares, cave-dwelling species with bioluminescent sensors, intelligent life evolving in bunkers, communicating in silence, cautiously watching the stars. Or maybe life here isn't afraid. Maybe it thrives in the chaos. What if Proxima b is a world of resilience, where evolution rewards toughness, not comfort? And here's the kicker: it's close, very close. If we ever visit another planet, Proxima b may be the first. Which planet is your favorite? Write a comment below.